Click, bam, boom. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Nightly Muse podcast. Another episode. Wow, that was off script, but you know what? It's whatever. It's fine. Where a bunch of geeks get together at the late hours of the night and talk about whatever we please, within reason, of course. I'm your host, Barry Pizza, aka Kyle, and today I'm going to be joined by two others. Because unfortunately, someone's not going to be showing up tonight, and it's perfectly okay because she's had a rough week, and it has been she deserves a break. So Malachi is not going to be joining us today. However, I will be getting let's try that again. I will be joined by my good friend Songbird_Angel. Angel.
Hello.
Oh, goodness gracious. And then
We're doing it.
It's been a stressful couple of weeks. So we're kind of like trying to get back into the bounce of things. And then my other friend, Bumblebee Blitz, Milo.
Hello.
Yeah, a cuffed couple of weeks. I get it.
Oh goodness, I know what that feels like.
Yeah, it's been a little stressful lately. I know Malachi just recently lost someone close to her, and she's been working hard to be able to get out of the situation that she's in. She's doing a fantastic job. She has pretty much everything set aside. She just needs to work on the last finishing touches, and then she's good to go. And I'm incredibly proud of her with everything that she's been doing, because God bless her. And baby doll, if
It takes a lot to work for the things you need.
Yeah. Baby doll, also, if you are watching this episode when this is released, I want you to know that I and everybody else here loves you. We are supporting you. And we're hoping that you can get out of that situation and into a spot somewhere safer, closer to me, and happier. With that out of
Absolutely.
Yes. With that out of the way, let's drop real quick reminders. Of course, we have a couple of rules. This channel will be PG-13, so certain curse words will not be said. We will try to filter as much as we can. Certain topics will not be talked about. This includes sexual things. This includes controversial topics. This includes religion and everything like that. So anything within the now, not gonna talk about it. We are an LGBTQ safe. We are pretty much safe to a lot of things. Anything bad, get out of here. Bye-bye. And then for my co-hosts, make sure that we are kind to each other and kind to the people out there.
Yes, sir.
With that out of the way, and now that script is done, I can turn off my phone and do all that, and then... Oops, my bad. Why not, since I didn't think of anything, why not we try to see if we can think of some real quick topics to talk about? What's been going on in y'all's week lately? I'm curious, other than what's been going on a lot of people's ends.
Well, recently, as you both might have guessed and known from my various sessions of going, oh my god, one of my favorite characters had a birthday a couple days ago. Actually, and today, as of recording this, December 18th, is his actual birthday. I've been very excited about it.
Oh yeah, and you've given us grief for it. Oh my gosh, it's Idiot's birthday! It's Idiot's birthday! Ooh, so good! Ooh.
Oh my god, it's his birthday! No. After a week, like, as you stated before, after having a couple of rough weeks and a especially exceptionally.
Excuse me, sir.
Sorry. Heck, after a rough week,
Yep.
it's nice to get good content of a character you love and enjoy on a level that I enjoy.
Yeah.
I mean, the same could be said about Angel and Link. I mean, she's very excited over Age of Calamity.
Well,
Don't put words in my mouth.
not even just Age of Calamity. These Hyrule Warriors, Breath of the Wild, a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Sorry for my little naughty word there.
Yeah, I literally just said, "Hey, dude, like, we're no curse words, no curse
We've
words."
pretty much decided that I'm apparently excited for Age of Calamity, even though I'm really not. I'm happy that they're making another Hyrule Warriors. I love me some Hyrule Warriors, and I'm probably gonna get tied to the tail end of somebody's truck for that. But I really enjoy the Warriors types of games. But Age of Calamity is something I'm just so about. I'm happy it's there, but I wouldn't be sad if it didn't.
Valid.
Wait, Angel, would you play it if it had fried egg and rice?
You know I would. Anything's good with fried egg and rice.
Oh my
The only reason Breath of the Wild's a 10 out of 10 game is because it has fried egg and rice.
Fried egg and rice.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness. Let's see.
You know why the Earthlings are so weak in Dragon Ball? Because they don't eat fried egg and rice.
Oh my god, stop!
Speaking
You
of
have a Songbird, you have a problem!
Speaking of video games, I'm sure we're all kind of reeling back from the recent Smash announcement that came out recently about the new DLC character, Sephiroth. What are our thoughts on that?
Should have been picking shrimp.
You know that one scene from SpongeBob where Squidward is like, just try to imagine him in his underwear.
Oh no, he's hot!
You're right.
Those are my feelings.
No, that trailer was insane.
That man has no business. That man has no business having abs that nice. You could grind meat on those.
Oh
my god, Angel.
You right. No,
I'm not right.
When his reveal, like, a lot of people were sitting there freaking out, and I'm like, okay, hold up, what? I have to see this. So I took the time to wait until somebody had released the video, and Nintendo, actually, I believe it was Nintendo of Europe? I can't remember. But they released the trailer on the Nintendo Twitter, and I took a peek at it, and I'm just... Mario cannot catch a break. I'm just saying it now. That poor plumber.
I personally don't mind seeing him get his just desserts.
There was that, and then I believe, because I know a lot of people, and I could say this, like, I can vouch this for a lot of Smash people and a lot of sweaty nerds, and, like, I know I'm calling you sweaty, but admit it, you kind of are.
I am pretty sweaty right now.
Oh god.
For some of the Smash folks, I'm pretty sure from what I can tell, because I never watched the thing with Sakurai explaining everything, but from what I can tell, He is a reach demon. That sword is something special. And I think that's definitely going to be his biggest obstacle when it comes to fighting him. But if you can actually manage to get in close, then you got it, boom, bam, done. Following that, apparently,
Smack his little cheeks.
I could be wrong, but I believe, even though he's not technically part of the game, he still gets to be involved in some way other than a spirit. But Gino, a Mii costume has come out for him. So now, yup.
Oh, yes, I saw the backlash on Twitter. Everybody was mad he got in as a Mii costume.
But,
Yeah.
My
I
Mountain
mean,
Dew.
plenty of people are like, why did you add Sans as a fighter? And why haven't you added Waluigi as a fighter? Be glad they're even doing anything with these characters in the first place. Because they could easily just look at you and just be all like,
Excuse me.
no.
A fair estimation, but it's not wrong to want something.
No, and like, I completely agree. And I'm not saying, like, they should, like,
They
sure.
definitely shouldn't wish death on Masahiro Sakurai. 'Cause it's
Yeah.
not like it's not like he's at fault for doing something. It's not like he can actually do it anyway, because they don't know. None of these people actually know the process behind getting these characters into Smash. Because it's not as simple as looking at it and going, okay, let's put it in. It's not that simple, even if it's a Nintendo character. And
It
for
takes
starters,
a lot of
people are
planning.
It does. It takes a lot of planning, a lot of licensing, a lot of money.
A lot of animation.
Well, making the character itself doesn't nearly come close to being as hard as actually getting the rights to use the character.
That is true.
Yeah. And like it comes down Angel has a point there because Square Enix actually was very, very persnickety and like very, very fickle when it came to the characters that they allowed in Smash. Cloud had a lot of had to have a lot of strings pulled because of the fact that they couldn't even get him. They couldn't get his English voice actor. They only got 2 songs, 1 stage, 1 character, and now Sephiroth comes in, and a lot of people are sitting there going, "Whoa, hold on a second, you gotta be joking me right now! Like you've got to be kidding!" And it shocked a lot of people. But I think it also comes down to it's not just. It has to be a mutual agreement with both Sakurai and the company, because then at that point, you could have one company who's sitting here saying, "Hey, why don't you you have full permission to do this," but Sakurai could just look at it and be like, "No, that's not the character I want."
Yeah. In the end, he gets to decide what characters he wants, but only characters that he's actually able to put in. I can imagine that his options already are incredibly limited.
Yeah,
And with people from all over the world, not just from Japan or from America, all over the fucking world who have played this game, I can imagine that the amount of people just demanding characters, wishing death upon him, and all of this other stuff, I can imagine he doesn't really take too much stock into what people keep demanding unless it's a worldwide kind of want.
Yeah.
Yes.
If
And
it's
to
something
some,
that you look at a conference table and you're discussing it with the development team, if it's something you look at and people are kind of just they don't really think so, it's obvious that they're not going to make it as a character. So the next best thing is, what if we just got the rights to make something based off it, i.e. a costume, a spirit. or an assist trophy even.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot easier to get a third-party character in as something like that.
A cameo at most.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it also goes into the fact that you have to go through figuring out how to make this character be able to be within a Smash, like a fighting game. Because if you really honestly think about it, even though Minecraft Steve can technically have some perks when it comes to PvP, but if you really honestly think about it, coming up with an actual moveset for that character is hard.
Oh, it
Let alone
must
a
be.
moveset that isn't samey.
Yeah.
Because I hope people realize that how many characters are there in Smash now? Like over 50?
Over 70, I believe.
Oh god, imagine
Over
all
70
the amiibos.
characters. Over 70 characters, all of which require movesets that are unique enough that people don't look at it and go, oh, that's basically just a ripoff. Take a look at Byleth, for example. I still see comments everywhere of people just taking one piece of every character's moveset in the Smash series and just saying, oh, that's just Joker's up B, that's just Ganondorf's forward smash. Literally, somebody made a freaking chart. And with people like that you gotta please, you can imagine how hard it is to come up with a unique design that is enough so that people won't look at it and spit in your face.
Yeah.
Because the entire Smash community has a strong habit of doing that. Myself included on some days.
Yeah, no, and I completely agree with you there. My only issue when it comes to Smash, is the mass amount of Fire Emblem characters. I have...
Oh my god, I agree.
I'm not saying this is like, oh my god, they added too many, but at the same time, I kind of am. It's more of just... And I understand that a lot of people like these particular characters, and I understand that it's his choice, but at the same time, if you think about it, a lot of people with swords, a lot of characters that are basically just Echo Fighters, and I have no issue with Echo Fighters. Like, if you want, they're fine. The Ken and Ryu, fine, whatever, go nuts. And like Daisy and Peach, go ham. Samus and Dark Samus, like, whatever, do you, boo boo. I do not care. However, honestly speaking, as someone who, and like, this is just me being, and just stating my opinion, because this is just, I'm saying this as like a simple, basic discussion, and simple, like, debate, if anything. I personally think it would be better just to keep it at Marth, Ike, and Roy. Maybe have one, like Robin or the other Corrin as DLC at most.
And that's a fair opinion to have. I humbly disagree with it, though. Like,
That's
first
valid.
of all, these characters are already in there, so it's really kind of hard to deal with that.
Yeah, no, and I'm not, like, how you see it is entirely up to you, and I'm not telling you even for a second that you shouldn't be thinking what you're thinking right now. I'm just stating that, me personally, I think there is a little too many Fire Emblem characters, and it kind of squeezes out a lot of room for other possible different Nintendo characters, or maybe even some Nintendo accompanied, like, more Capcom, or more Square Enix, or even, like, freaking Sega. Because I know for a fact there are a lot of people who are sitting there saying, come on, let's have some more Sonic characters.
In a way, you have a point, but you also have to realize that, first of all, Fire Emblem is an IP owned by Nintendo, partially,
Yeah.
so it's not hard to get a Fire. One of the things is that the idea of getting a Fire Emblem character was originally a way to push the oncoming Western release of the Fire Emblem games.
Yeah.
And you can kind of imagine that that would spark a little bit of a business deal,
Yeah.
in a way.
Mhm.
The issue is getting a IP for a Fire Emblem character is really easy. Like, being able to have the rights to put one in is incredibly easy. They're easy to design, they're differential enough so that, yes, despite the fact that a lot of them have swords, they're still different enough in certain ways to garner favor from certain players. I myself despise playing Marth, but I love playing Roy. Byleth is one of those situations where people hated him just because he was from Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
Corrin as well. Like, the only argument I kept seeing about Corrin is, ugh, another Fire Emblem character. Like, well, first of all, it's easy and cheap to get a Fire Emblem character into Smash, I reckon, because it's a IP that is partially owned by Nintendo.
Mhm.
I could be wrong about that, but it's easy to get in, easy to design, and it's one of Masahiro Sakurai's apparent favorites when it comes to certain game titles. At least as far as I know.
Fair enough.
So you can imagine that getting those in is both cheap and easy, so it's definitely ideal to keep up with the amount of demand for new characters in this game.
Mhm.
And it's always usually to celebrate Fire Emblem. Like, each character, as I recall, was made as one. And people were complaining about what's his name? Uh, Marth's, like, descendant, Chrom.
Yep.
People were really upset about Chrom getting in 10 minutes after everybody was demanding that Chrom gets in. Like, I would prefer if Chrom was in the game. Like,
Yeah.
okay, then we'll just add Chrom. But I think because it wasn't Chrom instead of Lucina, it was just, you can have Chrom too, then people were like, threw in the towel about it, not forgetting the fact that the whole point of Smash Ultimate was everybody's come back to fight,
Yeah.
which means they couldn't just remove characters like Lucina or Robin. And back to my little Byleth rant, I really don't appreciate the amount of people who just for some reason, Byleth was the only person who received that heavy of a nitpick just because he was from Fire Emblem. Or they, because it's both genders.
Yeah.
Byleth is a genuinely unique character, especially because I'm pretty sure he's the first character that utilizes a multitude of weapons that doesn't count as, like, Link in his items.
Mhm.
Because Link is, in his essence, is a swordsman. In Smash, he uses a sword, and sure, he has a bow, he has bombs, he has a boomerang, but those are items, those are tools. Byleth is hulking around a long spear, a sword, a great axe, a bow. The sword has a freaking chain on it as well. He's different enough that he's not just another sword fighter. He has a sword that as his main tool, but he only uses it for very few things. His forward smash is his little side B is a spear thrust. His down B is an axe. His up B is using the whip. His neutral B is using the bow. I'm pretty sure his smashes are different as well. It's just because people have just developed this culture of hating Fire Emblem characters just because they're from Fire Emblem. Like, people are just, like, not taking these characters for what they are. I have not seen anyone get as critical about Sephiroth on day one as people got about almost every Fire Emblem character ever released. And yes, there are a lot of characters, and frankly, I don't think that's a good idea to have that many. Am I Am I sad about it? Not really. I don't want this many Fire Emblem characters in there, but they're differential in their mechanics enough that I can kind of ignore that.
Yeah.
Like, sure, the Echo Fighters, the amount of Fire Emblem ones being there was not only for the Fire Emblem characters, but it was the attempt for Nintendo to try to appease more people because they were like, I didn't want this character, I wanted that character, like Chrom. And if you think about it, technically Young Link falls into that category of being an Echo Fighter.
And
Because
Toon
he's,
Link.
well, after the release of Breath of the Wild's Old Link, not especially.
Fair enough.
Young Link, so Young Link suffices as an Echo Fighter for Toon Link. He is very much the same in almost every sense of the way. He's got the hook shot, he's got the spin attack, he's got the boomerang, he's got the bombs, he's got the frickin' fairy taunt, he's a kid with a with a short sword. He is mechanically similar to Toon Link in every single sense of the way.
Yeah.
And nobody said a thing. In fact, people were happy that Young Link came back. I was happy that Young Link came back. He was my main in Melee for the longest time. And yet, despite the fact that he's the exact same to Toon Link, meaning he's completely unnecessary and a sword fighter, I don't see anyone going up in arms about it at all.
Yeah. You know what?
There's just
You bring a very valid point, and it's just one of those things that even I didn't think about.
I'm just vibing.
It's hard. Well, while I agree with anyone who thinks that the amount of Fire Emblem characters is a bit much. But at the same time, it's like, imagine if you were this successful gaming company and your entire thing was having multiple universes from multiple IPs being brought into this one game. I don't think people realize that these are multiple different IPs carried by multiple different people and companies that they have to go up to and say, hey, can we borrow this IP for something? And they'll either say no, or they'll say yes, but you're gonna have to pay a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't think people kind of realize how much it costs to get a character from a certain IP into Smash. No amount of success that you have in this game is going to make that cost any less.
Yeah.
And going even further, some companies, for all we know, they're probably charging monthly costs. Yeah, you have to pay this much every month. You have to give us this amount of the revenue. With that in mind, with that potential in mind, we can assume that more than likely they're probably giving a lot of the royalties earned from Smash to these other companies. They are definitely profiting off of this. This is not just coming from the goodness of their hearts.
Yeah.
So, what we can assume from that, in my opinion, is that Mr. Sakurai and the development team as a whole, for one thing, they were getting overworked
Yeah.
during the development of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Sakurai sleeping in the office for 2 hours at a time, kind of overworked. So, I can imagine that this is cutting out of their paychecks as well. You know?
Yeah.
Because you can only have so much to pay for the staff to keep up. You have to pay the staff to keep up the updates, the bug fixes, keep up the servers running, and all of this really cool stuff. They have to pay for all of that. And I can imagine the reason why most characters don't get into Smash is not just because they don't want to put the character in. I can imagine it's because a lot of these companies are going, yeah, you can have them as a playable character, but you have to give us X amount of the royalties.
Yeah.
So that becomes a situation of, do we want to try to make less money and hopefully break even with the amount of money we get from putting these characters in? Because I guarantee you, most of the time these people are like, you can put this character in, but as long as we get the payments for the character, we get the money that goes towards the DLC. So they don't even get any profit out of it. It's just a character put in to be put in.
Yeah.
That's my feelings on the topic.
And that is perfectly valid. Oh, goodness. Well, at least now I believe we are now on, I think, probably our last Smash fighter. A lot of...
Really?
Yeah, from what I can tell, from what I can tell, I think we are on our last DLC fighter that's going to be revealed. A lot of people are sitting there. This is from what I've heard. I could be completely and totally wrong. But I mean, at this point, given the fact that, like, we've got 70, like over 70, I believe. At this point, a friggin', like, another 100 at this point wouldn't be surprising.
Well, I believe this is only like 3 characters in the entire second fighter pass, and I believe they're going to add the same amount as they did in the first one, so I think we should expect more.
Yeah. Then if that's the case, what did the last fighter pass, how many did it have? Do you remember?
I believe 6, with
6.
Byleth being the last one.
Okay. Then... that means we got probably 3 more coming.
Yeah, I agree there.
Oh, goodness.
Sorry, I've been kind of quiet. I was just letting you two like have your little nerd session.
You're fine. Then here, Mr. Man, I've got a question, or more like a topic that like you and I can discuss, because we've actually been playing it recently. But I'm pretty sure a lot of folks here know that I'm pretty big into Among Us and stuff.
Oh, okay.
But basically, the Game Awards, not only did it reveal the new fighter, hang on, let me turn down the music real quick, that's a little loud. The new, like, the Game Awards not only revealed the new fighter, but it also actually revealed the best multiplayer game and mobile game, Among Us. And because of the fact that it became so popular, it was transferred not only to like, so the different types of like things that we have it on are mobile, PC, Switch, and pretty soon Xbox.
Potentially PlayStation if things keep going this way.
Oh yeah. And it makes you really, really realize, like, it just makes you just realize just how, like powerful,
big,
and, like, how big this like
little game is. It's crazy.
The indie scene has very few chances to get into the limelight, but the fact is, they actually have a chance to get into the limelight now.
And Among Us was one of those.
It really baffles me. Like, I understand it. Games similar to the werewolf genre, as I call it, where, you know, there's an imposter among you, you gotta get them before they get everybody else, yeah, you know, all that fun, you know. the werewolf genre, in and of itself, is a very popular genre, but there's not a lot of games with that genre that people like. I know people like Town of Salem. I like Town of Salem. I know people like
Mafia.
Mafia, Trouble in Terrorist Town. All those types of games are fun, and they're based off of the werewolf genre. But I feel like Among Us took that genre to a different level. And I think...
I suppose in a way I could agree with that. Instead of it's hard to bring new concepts into a... Well, I personally call them murder mystery genres, but you're exactly right in calling them a werewolf genre. I feel like there are a lot of concepts that are really hard to... It's hard to bring new concepts into that sort of genre because it's always the same, in essence, the same core concept with the same end goal.
Though, to be fair, Among Us did introduce new concepts to it. You have to do tasks. You have to do all the fun things. And I feel like one of the reasons... Sorry for interrupting you, by the way. I just want to get this out there before I forget. I feel like the reason why Among Us is so memorable is because of its style. The style of its gameplay, its animations, its feel reminds you a lot of Henry Stickmin. Because, newsflash, it's based by the same company.
Yes, that, and it's kind of like one of those like really old,
maybe
like Flash games. Like, what's a game I'm thinking of that's like similar?
How to let my cat out.
I'm trying to remember. Cause like there's games that are pretty similar. What I'm trying to say, I can't put it to words, but Among Us and Henry Stickmin, they have a feel to it that just kind of makes you go like it's just one of those games that make you think. Like it's one of those games that you used to play when you were like still in elementary and middle school, and you would play it like during lunch or during like anytime you went to the computer lab and had some free time. Like games that you would probably find on Cool Math and play it there because why not?
Among Us definitely had that kind of advantage of that sort of nostalgia factor because it's definitely... I wouldn't say that it introduced any groundbreaking concepts that were new. I just think the presentation of it is what gave it its charm.
Yeah.
Because I have seen a lot of people act like the concept of Among Us is this new thing that nobody's ever done before. And to those people, I deeply apologize that you never grew up playing things like Mafia or even just freaking Town of Salem, which in itself introduced... Town of Salem itself, for example, introduced very new concepts in it that were really admirable, but the presentation of it wasn't nearly as groundbreaking. It gained traction, yes, but it never went up to the status of a Game of the Year award-winning kind of... Well, not Game of the Year, an award-winning title.
Yeah.
Mostly because it didn't really have the same kind of staff, I suppose you could say, that it wasn't as dedicated as the Among Us team was, in a way. Especially with their mobile port, which seems more like a cash grab, frickin' a knockoff cash grab more than anything. And if you've seen the main menu of it, it's awful.
Yeah.
But it's like, that's what... Among Us is not a new concept. I'm not trying to imply that it doesn't deserve the awards it got. It worked hard for those. It has earned them and more. I just disagree that it's introduced any new concepts.
I think what he's trying to say more is that maybe not new concept, but definitely added a unique twist to it. Because if you think about it, I don't think, I could be wrong, because I never played any of the other games. I know I played Mafia, and I've played Mafia, I've played Assassin, and I've played, like, mostly games that you would play in theater. But I don't think there's ever been a game similar to those, the murder mystery, whodunit kind of games, where you have to go through and complete a task. It's just basically process of elimination to see who it was that killed this one person before everybody gets killed. And it's like there are some elements, though, I will say that are missing, because in Mafia, I remember that there's actually a role called the doctor role, where you can essentially save someone from getting killed. Among Us does not have that feature. And I'm sure there's plenty of games out there similar that are like, we don't have that feature either. But even so, it's unique. It's definitely, like, although it's within the same genre and it has a similar style, and it's not original, and nothing is ever really going to be original. There's always going to be something that's going to be similar to something else, inspired off of something else. But it's still definitely just unique. And really, honestly, Inner Sloth, Puffballs United, and everybody who on the team who put together everything for that game, really, honestly, like, they deserved every reward. They deserved so much. They deserve so much more. And really, honestly, I'm excited to see what kind of stuff they think up in the future. Very much like new roles, new mods, new types of gameplay, maybe perhaps a new game, because they did say that they were thinking about it. New maps, perhaps even DLC, like more DLC. Who knows? It really depends on how far these people are gonna go.
Yes.
Because they're here. They are within probably they're pretty high. It's Among Us is probably one of the most trending things that is happening, like, that is going around right now. And I'm sure there's plenty of other things that are trending. They're just like, oh yeah, this popular, this is popular. Like, maybe My Hero Academia, or maybe even another anime, or even a TV show that came on, or Marvel, Disney, who knows? But even so, it's a big step. Big step.
Yes, I agree. It's a very, very big step.
Sorry, while I'm over here, like, we're over here discussing, I'm, like, jamming to the background music that we got going on.
So, Kyle.
Yup. What's up?
I have some very lovely information for you. Since
up?
I know you love a little cup game that we all know of.
Cuphead, I'm listening.
So, 8 hours ago, Cuphead and U2's actually made a collaboration.
Interesting.
So there's some U2's of Cuphead now.
Yeah, I'll have to give that a peek then. Wow. You obviously, like, I think it's pretty obvious though which character is my favorite. Because I'm a big old goof, big old dork. But
yes.
Because, I mean, you could literally see on the thumbnail my favorite character right behind the big old giant white ghost. Yeah, no, I'm also excited to see while the YouTubes are actually super cute and adorable, and I'll definitely have to give that a peek later. I'm actually a little more excited about the DLC that they got going on that haven't heard any news for. It might be out already. I don't know. I haven't been paying too much attention. But I know that they had some DLC cooking up, quite literally.
Yes. I remember that too.
That, and I believe, the Cuphead show on Netflix is, I don't know if they released the first episode or what, but I've heard they're doing a lot of stuff with that, so they got a lot going on there, on that end. I'll have to definitely take a peek and see if maybe I can jump in and look at that later. But really, honestly, if I could, I'd love to be able to get back into the Cuphead franchise because, good game, good series, good series. And like the people themselves are super duper creative.
Agreed.
Very much so.
Let's see. What else can we talk about? We can talk about...
I haven't the foggiest.
I thought you were fixing to say something, mister. I was gonna be mad at you. We've already had 2 slips. I'm going to be upset if we have a 3rd.
I know. Don't worry, I won't say any more naughties.
Ravioli, don't do the cursioli.
Falco's majestic farts are now ready. Anyways,
Didn't you just say, no naughty words, please, and you come out, Fucko's magic farts are ready?
okay, first of all...
Nothing about that was a swear word.
First of all...
You know what, at this point, this is gonna be one of the rated R.
Excuse me? I don't remember fart being a curse word.
No, it's the word before that, you dingbat.
Falco?
Oh, I thought you said fucko.
No!
Stop!
I'm sorry.
Mr. Man.
I'm sorry.
To anyone who mains Falco in Smash, I'm sorry. You have to obey the new name.
It's Falco's majestic farts.
I really thought you said the F word there, dude. I'm sorry.
No, I said Falco. Like Falco from Star Fox.
We got moved into that unlabeled aisle in the back of the adult video section because of you.
No, don't say that.
Over here just like talking about how Rivali's Gale is now ready, but being stupid, just like, oh, Falco's majestic farts are now ready. But no, somebody had to come in here and be all like, oh, you said the F word.
No, I'm gonna say the F word.
Anyways, enough being children.
God.
Okay. Anyways, I actually do have a topic,
What's up?
if you don't mind. So,
If it's about Disney characters and Hades, I'm going to smack you.
never mind, I do not have a topic.
Ha! I knew it! You're way too easy to read!
No, I'm kidding. I do have a topic, though. It is about, the new year. Since we are nearing, well, we're about like 2 to maybe 3 weeks. Oh, no, about 2 weeks. 2 weeks away from the start of the new year.
From when we
And-
this is from when we recorded this, so like
It is currently December 18th.
Yes.
As of recording this.
as we are recording this, it is December 18th. It's only like about a week till, oh god,
Quimbus.
till Christmas. And after that, it's the new year, and Lord, please, whatever higher power is there, I beg of you, please let
to the gods
please,
above
please,
and the
please,
gods below.
2021 be not a terrible, disgusting, nasty year, because I'm so tired of the crap that has been going on in 2020. I'm so ready for it to be done. I want a break. I want a year that's actually good and nice and calm and peaceful and lazy, and not one that's terrible and nasty and gross. Because I know for a fact. So, despite, like, I know my extroverts are suffering, but I'm pretty sure that even my introverts are sitting here just like, I'm ready to go outside now.
The new year is bringing a lot of new, and for some, especially in certain countries, I can imagine that those changes might not be exactly favorable, depending on who they are.
Yeah.
In America, we're seeing a new presidency come January. We are seeing the arise of quarantine policies, the potential of a actual working vaccine. We're seeing a lot of new changes come 2021, and I think if we stick together and keep hold of the idea that in the end, when you get down to it, we are all humans, then I think we can make 2021 a lot better compared to 2020. We definitely can't go back to the way things were. That's just a unfortunate truth that people have gone through in many time periods.
No, I agree with you there.
Because regardless of your race, creed, or religion, you're still human. Everybody has the right to live as a human being. I'm not going to disrespect someone for their personal beliefs. Like, if you, like, politics, for example, which I refuse to get into.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Other concepts, like, learning about things people believe is a privilege to me. Being able to find out what someone believes in and devotes them to.
What makes
what
them
they
tick.
think. Yeah, what makes them tick. Like your opinions on Fire Emblem characters compared to mine, and how I rather like Fire Emblem characters and I don't share the same views that you have about their inclusion. And Milo's personal beliefs as well. We have some clashing beliefs as well, and that's fine. Because I get to see what makes him tick, the things that he enjoys. And that's
Which is
the best
apparently
part about
blue-haired flame men, but continue.
Who doesn't like blue-haired flame men? Excuse me. Anyway, I'm
personally not a fan, but anyways, keep talking.
We have a lot of completely different interests and things that we like. And frankly, if you get down to it, I'm actually kind of surprised that we're all friends, given how we have so many varying interests, especially ones that the others actually don't like.
Yeah.
But
if I can add on to this really quickly for a moment.
Go right ahead.
Sorry to interrupt you, but I feel like all friends, what makes a true friendship, and to make it work and thrive, I feel like there shouldn't be twins, if that makes sense.
Because twins are fun, but I think.
Well, yes, I'm not you know me. I can't word things right. What I mean is, diversity among friends is good, and similarities among friends are good. But you have to have a very good balance of diversity and similarity.
And to tie it all together, if I may,
go right ahead.
Maturity.
Yes, I've learned a lot of that this year.
Yes, because along with diversity and similarities, there has to be, when it comes to certain topics that are clashing, there has to be a maturity about it. Like how me and Angel were sitting here talking about how I don't like Fire Emblem, she loves Fire Emblem, and we didn't start arguing, we just simply said, I don't like it, and she said, I do like it. And we were like, okay, fair enough. You're a valid person.
That's what it should boil down. That's what it should boil down to.
Exactly.
Frankly, some people will disagree that having differing interests in a friend group is necessary for it to last.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people seemingly believe that everyone having... The phrase familiarity breeds contempt applies to that kind of statement, and that's a weird statement for me.
Yeah.
Because in certain ways, for certain people it's true, but in other ways it doesn't appear to be. As me being a big buff on the way the mind works, I love seeing those kinds of studies and stuff being done. Like if I recall correctly, somebody did a study on the success of The Sims, and it was like a purely psychological based thing.
Yeah.
It's the familiarity breeds contempt phrase. While I imagine it does ring true for some people,
I think that's what it boils down to. Some.
Yeah, I think since humans, in essence, are social creatures, I myself very much prefer finding people with differing interests, but at the same time, I still want to have someone I know who I can go to when I want to nerd out about the recent Dragon Ball Super manga, even though my friend who's a deep Dragon Ball Z fan and Dragon Ball fan really despises Dragon Ball Super for some reason. And GT, which I guess is fair, but I liked GT. But I digress. A friend group will only last as long as you're willing to make it last. It's not about having the same interests or being different enough interests.
Yeah.
It's about coming to respect each other, like the mutual respect thing. That is a massive requirement for a friend group to last.
Yeah.
I have known people for 10 years who are vastly different from me, who I have argued against on so many different topics, and on the outside you'd probably think we hated each other, but that person is someone that I would trust with my firstborn child.
Yeah.
I trust and I deeply respect them, because despite the fact that we come from completely different worlds, we're still in essence able to get along, because when you boil down to it, even if we're not interested in the things that the other person is interested in, we're still interested in finding out why the other person enjoys it and listening and being able to take part in that.
And I think that's what, definitely one of the things that I would definitely suggest to a lot of people who are trying to look for relationships and friendships and who are struggling. Yes, it's nice to find people who you like have similar things with, but I think there also needs to be boundaries. There also needs to be things that the both of you, because I know there's gonna be some things that people, because hang on, let me gears.
Take your time.
My ADHD makes it a little hard to...
No, do it now! No.
Right. What I'm trying to say is, to put it more into an example, basically, is, let's say, for example, me and Angel, you and I both like... Let's just use Among Us for example. You and I both like Among Us, but the thing is, I'm obsessing over it, and but you of course are getting tired of it. I think what I find necessary is to be able for you to have something else that you can find and like and talk about, and just say, hey, look, I'm tired, I want to do this instead. And I'll be like, you know what? Fine. you're valid. I will do what I can to back off and let you enjoy your thing, and I'll enjoy my thing. And I think that's what the biggest thing when it comes to like relationships is that yes, it's nice to be close to someone, but I think another thing to being friends is being able to understand that people have limits, people have boundaries, and we're like batteries in a weird way. Is kind of what I'm like. People are different batteries in a weird way. Some people drain a little less, like a lot slower than others, while others are just like, oh, this thing's cool. No, I don't like it all that much anymore. I'm gonna do something else.
A way I'd like to put it for some people who are probably like looking at this and going, hey. I understand. Believe me, I know how you feel on that. I would like to ask those people to think about something. What would you do if somebody asked you to do something you wouldn't want to do? You would say no, right? Like your first instinct would be, no, I don't really want to do that.
That's kind of how it is.
You know? Exactly. That's pretty much how it is. You would just say no, and that's that. Like most people probably have grown up with that. Sure. Now I'd like them to think about that situation only as the person saying no, like as the person asking for that thing. You're probably all offended right now. You're probably upset about it because you just wanted to do something with them. Like there was something that you wanted that you didn't get. You know?
Yeah.
And there is a big correlation to make to certain things that I will not discuss here because that's a pretty heavy topic, even though it needs to be discussed.
Yeah. You don't have to go like too deep a detail, but
if you have a right to say no to something, then other people that you're hanging with or are in a relationship with should have that exact same right. Like, honestly, I have dated around a lot, and I'm going to bring up my own past relationships in this, even though, I have dated around quite a bit. Like, I have, in all my time, like, even before I became an adult, started working on college and getting money, an actual income, stuff like that. Focusing on yourself, a lot of people say that you need to focus on yourself in a relationship, but I think that that's a difficult thing to say. Yes, it is important to focus on yourself during a relationship, but in all honesty, focusing on yourself doesn't equate to having other people focus on you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
While you are fully allowed to say no to something, the person you're with is not obligated to say yes for you.
Yeah. Consent is probably the most, and this is about the only time I'm ever gonna say this. Consent is sexy. Just saying.
Yes, it is. It's very sexy.
And that's the only time I'm ever going to say that. So don't expect any more out of me, folks.
That's all, folks.
Continuing from what I was saying.
Go ahead.
Before I got screamed over by consent is sexy, which I fully agree.
I'm sorry.
You are fully allowed to say no.
Yeah.
When people say take care of yourself, you are in charge of taking care of yourself, not your partner, if you're a mature adult living on your own, not your parents. You are in charge of you. And I think a lot of people who are in college are starting to get a feel for this, especially during the quarantine with nothing but online classes, where they have to make the conscious decision to attend the meeting. Because it's a lot different to walk into a location and have responsibilities to take care of. And that's kind of why a lot of people school.
I'm sorry, just hear Kyle beatboxing.
Sorry.
You got something you want to say?
Sorry. I'm just can't help but jam to Angel's tunes. They're just so good.
Continue,
Anyway,
friend.
when you get down to it, you are in charge of taking care of yourself, like in a relationship. And while it's nice to have that emotional security with someone, it's not what you should be seeking in a relationship. When you're getting with someone, you shouldn't be seeking emotional stability, because then if you're lacking that, then you're not exactly that ready for a relationship, in all honesty.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm speaking from personal experience, because I deal with a lot of mental issues. I've got like 8 pills shoved in the drawer beneath my bed frame right now that I have to take every day to function. Being in a state where you're not prepared for a relationship, where you're not prepared to take care of yourself, you're not ready for a relationship at that point, because then that entirely falls upon your partner to be the one to take care of you. If you're able to reach a balance where you're taking care of each other, that's great. If you two reach a mutual understanding, that's all well and good.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my partner, we've been together for quite a long time now. We were both very unsure if we were ready for relationships, because we both got our own brands of things. Hers is work, and being the oldest child means oldest child in the family. She is 19, just like me. She has a lot of responsibilities to take care of as the older sibling, as well as in this day and age where there's like the quarantine and stuff. She is incredibly busy almost all the time. And I myself, maybe I'm not as busy, but there are still responsibilities that I have to contend with, while at the same time having to fight to wake up in the morning. It's hard.
Yeah.
And frankly, none of us actually thought we were getting into a relationship until at one point in time we were both just texting each other and being, screw it, I don't want to wait. And even then, we were both like, well, if this starts becoming a stressful thing, if we start getting over-reliant on each other, we need to talk. We need to either talk about it or put an end to it now. But it worked, because we were able to take care of ourselves, and on days we weren't able to, we were willing to work with each other. And that's really, a relationship is a 50-50 deal. You can't put more into it than your partner is putting in, and you can't give more than you can't receive more than your partner's putting in.
Mm-hmm.
That's just doomed for failure. And that is an unfortunate truth, because, a lot of people... I once said that you shouldn't get into a relationship, you shouldn't get into a official relationship, you shouldn't go steady like that, without the expectation of, like, spending the rest of your days together. I used to say that. And then I kind of realized how immature of a view that actually is, in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you get down to it, like, yeah, you should enter a relationship and hope for the best, but you should also be ready for the worst. Because I have been this person, and I have seen loads of people become this, where they have become distraught, utterly destroyed by losing someone, and it's painful. I definitely understand. terrible to have to go through that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's like you should have. You're turning yourself into this. What's happening is that you've lost sight of yourself at that point. You've stopped being you. You've become this divided pair. It's like when Mike and Ike became just Mike and just Ike.
Yeah.
People remember that.
Oh,
It's a really
don't remind
stupid-
me of the dark days.
It's a really stupid metaphor, but you stopped just being Mike. You've just been Mike and Ike, and now you're just Mike without Ike. You should
Yeah.
always take care of yourself first. I am just the queen of rants today.
You're fine. Let's see. How about? And are you okay with me cutting this real quick and switching?
Go right ahead.
Okay. Here's a question for you both, because I know that all of us have been getting pretty into it lately, although some little less than others. But I know we have all collectively been messing around with a lot of Pokemon stuff. So I have a question for you both. If you were to become a gym trainer, or like a gym leader, or some sort of like Pokemon trainer or something special like that, and this is excluding legendaries and mythical Pokemon, if you could put together a team for yourself and face off other trainers, what would you do? What would you have? What kind of
Is
trainer
this
would
like
you?
a 6 Pokemon team? Like 6
What
Pokemon?
are 6 Pokemon or less? If you, it's entirely up to you. I want to do something creative right now, because I want to. Like we've been talking, like we've been doing a lot more ranting than we have been doing any sort of like creative thing, and I'm like, you know what? Let's change things up. Let's do something creative here. So I want to know from you both, and I might chip in with my own thing later, but I want to know, both of you, if you had a Pokemon team, would you, and like you had the ability to become whatever kind of Pokemon trainer you wanted, whether it be gym leader, Elite Four, champion, whatever, what would you have?
Bug types.
I've thought about this actually. I would definitely be a steel type trainer. And I would definitely have Pokemon such as Aggron, Steelix, Mawile, Metagross, Lucario, and Staraptor. Or not Staraptor. Skarmory.
Angel, you know what's funny is that 5 of those Pokemon that you just mentioned are all Mega Evolution capable. All of them except for Skarmory, they're all Mega Evolution capable.
This is a bit awkward to mention that I had this exact team all with Megastone.
Oh my god, Angel.
I was desperate to get through the battle tree, okay? So I just...
Yeah, you're
Sorry for
fine.
I just wanted a monotype team.
Mr. Man, we have talked about this with you and your food. If you're gonna eat, please do not eat with your talk with your mouth full. Oh my gosh. To be honest, I never really, sorry about that, never really thought about doing anything sort of Pokemon-wise when it comes to my team, because I'm so freaking indecisive.
Oh god, tell me about it.
You know what? I could easily kick you out from this podcast, you little butt.
I thought you were gonna say I could easily eat you. I'm like, no.
You wish. No, I think I might go with a team. I I think I might mix it up a little and try to go for a team that is actually different than the typical thing. Because some trainers typically go for either one type or a mix of different types, but me personally, I have a tendency to go for 2 types. And I think my 2 types that I'm going to go for is fire type and grass type. And on my team, I would have Typhlosion. I would have Survivor. Or no, not Survivor. Superior. That's the one. I would have... I'm trying to think. What is the Pokemon I'm thinking? I would probably have a Centiskorch. Probably a Serena. What's another fire type that I like? Salazzle. I'd have a Salazzle. And then my final one. What would be my last one? I'm trying to think. What all are the grass types? Like Mega Evolve or something? I'm trying to think. Sorry, I've always been one for the Mega Evolution that I have been with the Z Crystals or the Gigantamax. Don't get me wrong, they're cool, but I personally preferred the Mega Evolution a little bit better.
That's fine.
I can't think of it because I can't remember all the Mega Evolution types. Oh, I feel bad. But that's my crew. Mr. Man, you got a sec of not eating and actually being able to tell us what your team might be?
I'm on my last one now.
Alright, hurry up and finish it.
Woo! Sugar. Anyways. So, I would have, as I said, Bug and Grass. Bug and Grass are my favorites, personally. I started with a grass starter, and I'm in love. I would have a Combi and a Beedrill.
Obviously.
Oh,
I would have
stinking bee Kenny.
a Snom, a Snivy,
Onion.
Bulbasaur. Yes, my beautiful onion. And I'd have a Simisage.
Interesting. Wasn't expecting a Simisage.
Or a Rillaboom.
I have not really heard many good things about the Simian Pokemon. That's a
I
refreshing
love
change.
this. I love the little monkey brothers. My favorite one is the water one. I
Simipour.
don't remember the name. Simipour, yeah.
I'm a bit of a sweaty Pokemon nerd, so that's the only way I know that one.
You sound far away. Kyle!
What?
Kyle, come back! Don't go to the ether!
No!
Kyle, come back!
I gotta get something!
No! You're supposed to be running the podcast!
No,
Come back!
I gotta get McDonald's. I gotta I gotta get my chicken McNuggets. I gotta get my chicken McNuggets. I gotta get I'm gonna get dogs.
I'm gonna get my McNuggies.
I gotta get my McNuggies. Oh my god. I can't reach
Jimmy Coon,
Stop.
do you like my cheeky McNuggies?
I hate that. Stop.
I leave you people alone for 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
Yeah.
This has to be a record. Oh, wait, no, the record was 7 seconds.
Oh, excuse me.
I was actually trying to
Yeah,
search
my
for.
mistake.
I was actually trying to search for a drink, but I couldn't find it because all of the drinks are in the fridge, and I don't want to interrupt the podcast. Ooh, excuse me, that was really attractive. I apologize.
It was. How dare you do that when your wife isn't here? Anyway.
No, I didn't want to get up, so I was thinking, oh, maybe I could like find a drink up in my loft because I have a tendency to collect drinks. But
Like a little hoarder.
we all remember from last session what happened last time when I found a drink up in my bed.
Yeah, wasn't it like half rotten?
No, I wasn't half rotten. It was
just warm.
It was just warm, and it just tasted disgusting.
Usually some drinks at room temperature taste grody as all heck.
Like
Yeah, especially
kiwi
fruit juices.
strawberry. Kiwi strawberry.
Oh, you just
Yeah,
reminded me
especially
of something
fruit
I did
juices.
not
I
want to
actually-
remember.
One of my weird interests is room temperature root beer. I actually really like room temperature sarsaparilla.
What is wrong with you?
What the heck? What the heck? What the heck? What the heck?
You
Are you
sound
okay?
like a toddler that figured out how to curse. What the heck? What the heck?
I am surrounded by idiots.
Oh
I
gosh.
should have left you on that doorstep where you were standing, but you didn't.
But you did it. Oh my god.
I should have let you live the Quasimodo lifestyle.
No, I just found three bottles of this sparkling water.
Damn it.
And all of them are the kiwi strawberry. And we all know what happened with the kiwi strawberry, so I'm not gonna risk it.
Yeah, I went away for just a second to check to see if there was any goodies in my bedroom drawer. Because usually I'll find some things. At one point in time, I found a 60-pack of Smarties, and I don't even like them.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're just there.
Yeah.
Usually I have like a big snack bag of snacks and treats and who's-its and what's-its and heck you. And I usually hoard them like a goblin because I have very terrible eating habits. I don't eat a lot of like meals. I eat snacks. So all the mothers that are listening in, hi mom. Your child's a dumbass.
Oh my god.
So I really need to eat better. And I plan next year coming up, I plan on getting better with my eating habits and all that.
My metabolism is just awful. I'm pretty sure I eat like a meal a day. And yet, despite that, 1 meal, 2 meals a day, and despite that, I'm still incredibly overweight, even though it's always just like a small sandwich or like half a pack of ramen. I tend to I am somehow ended up quite overweight. I will not lie. I will not sugarcoat it. I'm fat as all life. So I'm not afraid to announce that.
You're.
I'm about
Yes, but
the
that's
size of the Great Wall of China.
yes, but that's more that your partner can snuggle with and use as a pillow. Just saying.
Exactly. Exactly. You get it.
I'm not fat. I'm skinnier than a twig.
Fulfilling the twink lifestyle.
Well, this man over here calls me the bee twink, so I guess I don't really have a choice. Otherwise, I'll be called a twonk.
A twonk. I like it.
Twonk. It's alright.
Oh, it's a fresh one. Nice. Thank you.
It doesn't hurt as much as a twink, but you know.
Oh. Okay.
What?
Ugh.
So you got something on your mind? Did you get your chicken McNuggies?
No, I actually got somebody within my family to be ever so nice for me and give me my drink. Thank you, dear sister. I love you very much.
Hydrate or dihydrate.
It's actually orange juice.
Delicious.
Yeah, I got orange.
Consume the orange blood.
I got the orange juice. I kind of wish it had pulp.
Consume the orange blood.
I
Sorry.
kind of wish it had like pulp, but you know.
Oh, you're one of those people. All right. Okay.
Yeah. What about it?
One of those people. What do you mean?
We're gonna have an argument on the podcast over pulp.
What's wrong with orange juice with pulp?
I don't want orange guts in my drink.
Milo, this is a losing battle. First you
You
say
do
you
realize
don't want milk. Then you say you don't want orange juice with pulp. There's something wrong
Next
with
is
you,
gonna
boy.
be I don't want water. First of all, orange juice with pulp is a lot more natural than orange juice without pulp.
Exactly.
It gets stuck in my teeth and it feels weird going down my throat. Okay.
Do you drink with your teeth shut?
I guess so, apparently. He's over here just like
No. Do you remember that gif of Finn the human sucking water through his teeth and just spewing it out?
yeah, gross. No. Gross. Yeah, you deserve that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm fine.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, this podcast is a mess.
But
Do
I
you
mean,
drink with your teeth, bro?
I don't drink with my teeth.
but I mean, it's been a wild 2 weeks, so it's no surprising that we're all over here just like, oh my god,
Being what?
being stupid. Sorry, I had to do a very stealthy burp there. I didn't want anybody getting crazily attracted to me.
Oh, it's already too late for that, bro. No, I'm just kidding.
Mr. Man, I have a woman.
I know you do. I'm not going to step in.
And
Y'all are cute together.
I'm just waiting to hear it. You know what? Nope, I can't do this. I'm leaving. I'm going. I'm leaving from Angel.
I am so sick. I am surrounded by absolute fools. If anyone gets that reference, thank you, I love you.
Oh my gosh.
This just in. Angel loves our fan base.
How could this be?
I know. Does Bruno Mars is gay? Apparently so.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Sounds like a bug.
You good? You good? You alright?
Yeah,
feeling
okay,
alright?
how about you?
Yeah, I'm feeling alright.
You feeling good?
Yeah, I'm
Feeling-
having a pretty
feeling
good
good?
day, all things considered.
Feeling good? Feeling sassy?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Oh my
I wouldn't
gosh.
say I'm feeling very sassy.
Sassy.
Feeling horrified?
It's so sassy. I mean, okay. I think.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
I love this podcast. I'm just saying right now.
No, I love it too. Even though like half the time we're just sitting here just being stupid. I've noticed that so far in the oh my god, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Oh, sorry. Oh. I gotta.
Alright, well,
Anyways.
due to an unfortunate accident, I will now be taking over as the host of Nightly Muse Podcast.
The camera suddenly turns on and Angel's just standing over with a knife. So, I am now the new leader of Nightly Muse.
Why did you immediately attest that joke to murder?
But Angel, aren't you the imposter?
I don't even play that
Is
game
it
anymore.
you? Or is it I?
Nobody knows. Anyways.
Oh.
Oh boy.
Anyways. Let's see. Let me think of something else that we can put together topic-wise.
You know what?
What?
If we do have them, why not we talk about some possible New Year's resolutions? Adults do that, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, my New Year's resolution is to lose weight, or my New Year's resolution is to buy a car. I don't
Having a
know.
New Year's resolution is fine. I don't like the phrase New Year, New Me, personally. It's like, that completely invalidates, like, gradual growth and change. You can't just will yourself to be another way. It takes work.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Just
It
saying
really
it.
do be like that.
Just saying it here now, folks. It's a 27 minute watch. So we got 27 minutes left. So
Yeah, and 90% of it was me ranting. All in all, I'd say it was a good day.
and me and Mr. Man over here have been doing nothing but be stupid. You know, hey, that's pretty violent. You know? Yeah.
Somebody has to fill the dynamic.
Yup. Gotta fill in the space somehow, whether it be just or just. Anyways.
It feels weird to me doing a podcast, even though I haven't done it for very long, and even though I haven't been in a podcast very long, mostly, heck, I don't know, like 2 episodes in, this one being the second. Honestly, I really love this podcast, and I love everybody who watches and listens in, and I love everybody here, even though Malachi couldn't make it tonight. And I feel like with every rant and every topic, and when everybody shares their thoughts and opinions and ideas on every little thing that we talk about, it feels special to me personally. Even if for the majority of this episode I've just sat back and listened in on my two co-hosts talking about Smash and being super nerds. It fills me with a lot of joy knowing that we have this thing in our lives and we get to help it grow, if that makes sense. And I believe, even though I know New Year's resolutions are kind of stupid and corny, my New Year's resolution is to help this podcast and help myself grow.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird because I feel like I have to avoid talking about myself or other people in depth.
Oh, hey, natural 20.
Casually spilling my heart out. Ooh, natural 20.
Sorry. Natural 20 again. I'm over here fiddling with a dice that I found as I'm like listening to you guys talk as just a way to stem with my hands. And
You're fun, dude. Don't worry.
I'm drawing.
Valid. Let me.
You dare talk while I'm talking.
What?
Not talk. You dare fiddle while I talk. How dare you?
Hey, you know what? Would you rather me sitting here just like constantly doing like while you talk? Would you rather
What the
that?
hell is that?
What? What, this?
What is that? Are you ripping ass on the mic?
Yeah, I'm just taking my hand, putting it to my mouth and just...
Oh
I remember
my
when we
God.
said, guys, let's try not to curse during this podcast.
Well, okay, see, we could say a few words here and there. Just the F word specifically. Trying to tone it down to at least either minimum to 0.
Fair
And
enough,
we've
fair
already dropped it like 3 times, which shame on all of you.
Excuse me.
Hey, look, natural 20 again.
That's the critical role for me, about to beat your ass.
Oh my god. Angel, no.
Just like a real
I'm
mama.
gonna clap some cheeks, but not in the fun way.
No.
Bad. Shame on you. Oh my God.
I have no regrets.
Let's see. Let me see. I'm trying to think. Let me see. Oh my goodness. Trying to find something to see if maybe we have like a topic we can talk about, but I can't think of anything. It's bugging me because I don't know what to talk about.
Mental health awareness PSA?
Yeah, might as well. I know because a lot of folks here and a lot of folks who are off doing their own things, and the folks who are watching have a lot of different mental situations, whether it be on the spectrum of autism, or whether it be on the ADHD, whether it be PTSD, depression, anxiety, DID, and all sorts of things like that. I know a lot of people are struggling, and they can't figure out how to get the help that they need. It's, folks, if as from hosts and co-hosts to the people watching and everybody who's like going through all sorts of things like that, while we are not therapists ourselves, we want you to know that we love you, and we would love nothing more for if there's ever a time that you truly need help but you don't know where to get it. Call someone. Whether it be a hotline or whether it be someone like a friend, family member that you can trust, just someone. And just get the help that you need. Because you do matter. And everything about you is amazing. You're beautiful, and you're a wonderful person. You're not a burden. You are not useless. Oh, the list could go on, but you are a beautiful star on this giant, terrible, black, nasty sky, and we would love nothing more than to show you that you matter and we love you.
Something I want to cut in with, if you don't mind.
Go for it. Because I don't know what I'm saying half the time.
I want anyone here who might be second-guessing themselves to know this right now. There is nothing wrong with being diagnosed with a mental disorder of any kind. Any sort of mental disability, it does not matter. It does not make you any less of a person. I remember the shame I felt all from just having ADHD. And that is the least of anyone would have to worry about, in my opinion. Like, compared to others, I got off lucky, but that doesn't change the fact that it sucks to be diagnosed with something like that. So, what I will say is that if you ever feel like you have something like that, or maybe you feel like you're less of a person because of it, you're not. You matter just as much as normal people. Having these problems doesn't make you any less human. It is not wrong to have them.
Yeah.
And it is not. There is no reason why you should have to be afraid to ask for help. I think there is nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. We love you, everybody. Whether you be up here or down here, you in the middle, we love you.
Exactly.
Indeed.
Are you eating again?
No.
Little liar. I can hear it in your mouth.
But
You are not silent when you eat.
But I agree with both what Kyle and Angel said. Recently, this year, I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety. Specifically GAD.
Which is sadly a very common thing in places like America, which is very sad.
And it's very common in young adults and teenagers.
Very much so. And it's not something easily gotten out of.
Oh god, no. And I think what makes it worse is the lack of help and the lack of care.
Yep.
And the lack of caring about mental illness in general. Because humans don't care about issues that they can't see, or if they do see any issues, they don't care. And I really think mental illness is a unseen killer.
Very much so. And thankfully, we live in a day and age where that is starting to become more and more researched and touched up upon and funded.
And I always, well, not, people like my parents' age always love to think like, and I'm not necessarily saying my parents, I'm just talking about people that age in general, the boomers. They always like to say, we kids nowadays, all we want is labels. All we want is to have more mental illnesses than our friends, and we want to have more of labels and all this shit. And it's really not like that. It's not a popularity game. It's not like heckin' Pokemon where you gotta collect them all. It's very real issues that we have based off of years of how our brain works, which could have gone unmedicated, which made more come and more take over and infest. And I feel like along that and the general lack of uncaring is what makes why so many kids and young adults have these illnesses, have mental illness, and why they go so long without getting the proper help. Because a lot of people and a lot of adults and a lot of parents always think they're faking it until it's too late. And I feel like, personally, as somebody with ADHD and anxiety and depression, anxiety that's gone unmedicated for very long, mind you, I feel like we need to focus on that as much as normal illness. And I know therapists exist and I know counselors exist, but we need to focus on it. Otherwise, kids are just going to keep being scared and ashamed of themselves for this thing that they can't help.
I will say, in my opinion, we're getting on the right track.
Absolutely. There's just something holding us back.
And unfortunately, that's going to be a thing for a very long time, because it's just, at this point, that's kind of human nature.
Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, humans fear what they don't know, which in turn creates anger and hostility. That's the problem of our species. If there's something we don't know about, our instant brains, what our brain tells us is, hey, we gotta fight it.
Beat it up!
Beat it up!
If I may,
stab!
The whole time
No.
that we're over here talking about this,
You're on mute.
No. I had probably the most happy-go-lucky song playing in the background as we're talking. And now I'm just like, I realize now this is a bad time to be playing this song.
Is it?
It's Jubilee. And I feel,
Oh my god.
yeah, it's Jubilee, and I'm like, why am I playing this song while we're sitting here talking about mental illness? Oh no, I should probably jump to something else, but I don't know if I should.
Hey guys, depression's a really bad thing. Doon 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 doon.
Oh no! I
The
know
fucking
exactly what
kick.
song was
Sorry,
playing.
the heckin' Kickstarter music. Hey guys.
We just hit $1,000 on our goal.
We just hit $1,000 towards mental illness awareness. That's insane.
Oh my god. I hate this. I hate this meme. I hate this. Can we just get rid of this meme, please?
No.
What do you meme?
That's it. I'm done. Kyle, you was fun. I'm done.
Angel, I'm about to throw you back into heaven.
No, she came from hell. What you talking about?
Exactly. Heaven? What are you talking about? I've never been there.
Oh my gosh. Either way, this song's starting to drag a little bit, so I'm gonna go to a different song.
Alright.
There we go.
PSA.
Yeah. But no, in all seriousness, folks, you should never be ashamed to ask for help. You should never be ashamed to getting diagnosed. You should never be afraid of accepting the fact that this is who you are and getting, like, the things that you need to get better. Because...
And...
These things... They're... You don't just...
They're not you.
Yeah. It's even though it's just a chemical imbalance in your brain, it still doesn't change the fact that it's making you feel like you're not who you used to be. The person who used to smile is no longer smiling anymore. The person who used to talk is no longer talking anymore. The person who doesn't normally have trouble being able to listen to a certain song can't listen to a certain song because all it does is remind them of something that honestly was years and years and years ago, to the point where they just it tears them apart, makes them panic, and makes them lose all sense of who they are.
And to the folks watching who
No, these idiots just won't stop talking.
And to the folks out there listening who is a parent or somebody who doesn't suffer and doesn't experience anything with mental illness, be understanding and be open for these people. They are going through utter hell at times. And the best thing you can do for them is to just be there with them and help them.
I would like to say something here.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Because I'm going to address something that I feel like quite a few parents could relate to. A child being born with a certain mental deficiency, a child deciding that their identity is not who they are, a child with a certain specific type of personality or opinion does not affect you as a parent. You are not a failure because your child was born with a mental disorder. You are not a bad parent because your child decides they're not your son, they're your daughter. You are not a bad parent for any of those reasons. There is no reason why you should ostracize your child for that reason. That's when you become a bad parent. When you agreed to keep that child, you agreed to accept them and all of their little caveats and all their... You wouldn't do any of the things such as ostracizing your child. Like, you wouldn't whip someone, forsake them in society just because they have something, a part of them that you don't agree with. Because that is just a realistic thing that is always going to happen. So you're not a failure for what your child decides. You're not in the wrong for it. When you decide to do something against it, that's when things start going wrong. And I know you don't want to lose your child, but pushing them away like that is doing exactly what you're trying to prevent. Let them be them. Support them. Let them grow. It isn't like playing The Sims. You can't decide what their personality is.
Yup. But yeah.
I have heard the "I'm a failure as a parent" argument way too often when it comes to youths who are coming out as either LGBT or, well, yeah, just as LGBT in general. I see it happen way too often. And to those people, I just want to say, who are you to decide whether someone else is a certain way? Like, I understand that if this is something you don't agree with, and you probably don't want to, like, accept that because it's your child, but just because they came from you doesn't mean they're your property. They didn't ask to be born.
Yeah.
They should have the right to control who they are. And the my house, my rules thing is a very piss poor argument, because for one thing, you are legally obligated to take care of that kid. Like, if you're not willing to do that, there's such a thing as adoption. Like, that's a hard thing to put a kid through, and it's awful. But I'd rather go through adoption than live with someone who doesn't respect me.
Yeah.
Be open-minded. That's what this is all mean. Be open-minded. Be supportive. Because we need more of that in this world. We need a generation full of people who are willing to support each other and respect each other and love each other.
Yeah.
And the only way we can do that is if the generation before teaches them this.
And to any older generation listening in, I know it's confusing. I know it's scary. I know all this new shit nowadays is very, very confusing. But you're not the only ones who are confused.
Believe me, everyone involved has no idea what's going on.
And the more hostility or general lack of acknowledgement only makes it worse for folks.
Yup.
Something I want to, if we have time, there's something I want to point out that might, like, appease some people who are thinking of, well, if you have a PP, you're a male, and if you have a vagoo, you're a female. And honestly, I won't say that is not a fair judgment, but it is also, you are missing the point. That is your sex assigned at birth. Your sex is different from your gender. A gender is a societal norm.
Yeah.
You can be assigned whatever at birth, and this completely ignores people who are born with both characteristics. So what about those people? But still, it is a very difficult situation because, yes, people are born with certain parts. That doesn't decide who they are, unfortunately, because that's just not how it works. Maybe it was for the longest time, but there are so many people from past generations like that, and who are, like, exploring this new thing and finding that it fits them as well.
Yep.
It's confusing and it's terrifying, but patience and a willingness to understand and to learn, that's what's going to get you through it, and that's what's going to keep your child your child.
Yep.
Anyway, I enjoy how I'm always bringing in all of the hard topics. We've lost all our viewers. If there ever were any to begin with.
You know, I feel like even though these topics are very serious, and even though these topics can suck to talk about, I feel like it's necessary to talk about them. Because if we don't, who will? And given that we are all, LGBTQ, we all are, mental illness gang.
Mental illness gang.
I feel like it's a necessary thing, in my opinion. Mm-hmm.
Oh, excuse me.
Because even if we are talking about it, maybe we make people feel hurt. Maybe people out there feel safe knowing that there's people here who know what it's like and share their experiences and get to be vulnerable, in a sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a fun 2 hours. But unfortunately, folks, we have come to the end of our limit. I want to thank everyone who has joined us today, who was able to come, and I want to say to the people who didn't come.
I thought you were gonna say, I want to say a prayer.
No. Lord,
I'd like to have a moment of silence for our lost sanity.
I've already established that we're not going to bring any sort of religious thing in here.
I know.
But I wanna thank everyone who is here, and I want to give the best wishes to those who weren't here when we were making this. And I want to thank you both for joining me tonight. I know it's been a hard 2 weeks, and I know we've got another 2 weeks ahead of us. We're going to be uploading these bi-weekly. So every other week we're going to be recording, and then hopefully for either tonight or tomorrow we're going to be uploading the video. But yeah.
One last thing as well. To anybody watching, our Twitter is linked below. DMs are open if anybody has any questions on the podcast, or anybody has any questions to the people on the podcast, which
And even
you
suggestions.
may have a question for B, may have a question for Barry, may have a question for Song. Send us your questions. Let us know what you're talking about. Let us know what you want to see next.
Give us suggestions.
Well,
let us have some things to decide, because we're literally flying off by the seat of our pants. I'm definitely gonna have
Be sure to
These
send
are
us any
very small
questions,
pants.
concerns, or suggestions you have on our Twitter link down below.
Yes. With all of that out of the way, thank you, and we will see you all in the next 2 weeks.
See you all in the future.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Goodbye.